So I recently came across a video which talked about how to take effective notes, and I found it quite interesting. So today I'll go deeper into it. And so firstly, why are effective notes important? And so basically, when it comes to learning, the input is as important as the output. And so when you take in new information, you have to have a place to sort of store it. And because like if you want to go back, it would just be really hard trying to relearn everything. And so I remember when last year, I think I was studying for my Japanese test, and it was end of summer test, and I went over lots and lots of vocabulary. It's, for example, like train station as like I can't even remember now because I didn't really store like I didn't really like write down and effectively store my notes, and so now I guess I've forgotten a lot of the words that I once knew, and so it's good, and it's going to take quite a lot of time to sort of relearn the ones that I haven't really spent as much time on, and so so you can see how important it is to actually take notes and what happens if you don't. And so next is to have the right equipment, and so you have to be well prepared for when you're attending classes or lectures or just anything in general, which you think is going to give you information or value, and so things like highlighters or pencils and rulers. And it's really useful because having a variety of equipment, like when you use it in your work, it makes it more clear and you'll be able to see it more clearly. More clearly and more, I guess, visualize it. So, like, say for example, if you just had a plain sheet of text and if you highlighted it, you would see the difference where just plain text is really boring to read and you would have to look through the whole text to find the key information. Whereas if you have a highlighter, you can highlight out the pieces of information, and when you come back, it will be really easy to look at. And and also, like, if you don't have the right equipment, then you're also going to be missing out on a lot of information. And there's been so many times where I've attended classes and I've just forgot my equipment, like even a pencil, not even all those highlighters and rulers and things, but even forgetting a pencil or a pen. And I was just basically not able to make any notes. And I remember this one history lesson where we were learning. It was like a really important lesson about we were learning about Germany before World War II, and that was the lesson where we were talking about where Hitler gains control of Germany. And I didn't have my pen, and so I couldn't really take any notes, and that was one of the most important lessons we had. And so, I guess always just be prepared, otherwise you're going to have to spend more time to look over it later. And a lot of people talk about whether whether it's better to take digital notes or to do it on pen and paper. And well, it's actually quite complicated because there's benefits for both, where on digital it's quite a bit easier because you can type and it's a bit faster, whereas there's actually been studies which have been conducted where people who study on paper were able to retain much more information than people who were on computers. And so I guess just pick whatever one you prefer because they both have benefits. And then next is just to have the right atmosphere when you're listening to a class or a lecture, because like turn off your phones and turn off like anything that might distract you, because I guess it disrupts your concentration and you won't be able to take as effective notes or listen as well. And so now I'm going to talk about what your notes should look like. And so your notes should be packed quite densely with information, and so like every word has to be there. So if you were taking notes and you just rambled on about useless things, then it's not really that effective, because when you go over it, you're going to have a lot of time trying to find the key information. Whereas if you just do small bullet points with keywords, then it's just a lot easier to read and it's a lot more effective. And so some types of notes can be showing the big ideas, bullet points, highlighting. You can also give terms and definitions and examples. And then finally, there's some general guidelines. And so basically, a really useful thing that I sometimes do is to basically gouge each class that I take on, sort of. In maths, I'm doing a bit of looking at the syllabus for the next term, so I can, I guess, have a bit of an idea for when we study the thing next term. And it's like I don't really have to completely understand it, but as long as I know what it's sort of about, I sort of have a head start, and I'm able to, I guess, understand it easier when we actually learn it in class. And yeah, there's some general math methods that are really good for note taking. And so the first is the outline method, where you basically have a main idea, and then a subtopic, and then give examples for each, and then another subtopic with examples, and then yeah, just carry on with main ideas and repeating it. And yeah, I guess it's a bit like in newspapers where there's a title, and then there's subheadings, and then like text underneath. Yeah, so that's quite useful. And then next is the Cornell method, where basically you have notes where you take it in class, and then you put your own opinions after that. And then yeah, I guess after all of it, you write a small summary on your own. And it's quite good for like looking at your personal view and looking at yeah, what you think about it. I guess for like philosophy or history or things like that. And then next is the mind map, and it's quite good, and it's what I've done here because you're able to visualize it. And yeah, I just think it's really nice because yeah, I think being able to see like the actual main idea and seeing all the other topics that branch out, I think it really helps you sort of picture it in your mind and be able to talk about it better. And so yeah, I think that's all. I think overall the main things to take away are that remember to keep the right equipment for when you're about to take notes, and also don't just waste your time on like putting things that shouldn't be there. Just, like, get to the point and make your notes quick and easy to look at. And then yeah, some methods to take away are the outline method, the Cornell method, and the mind map method. And yeah, they're all very helpful. And so yeah, I hope you learned something in today's video which will help you later. Thank you.